Hello, good morning. Today is the 22nd of October 2024, and even though it's quite late in the season, we've got a weather window, and I'm going to take full advantage of it by going up on a scramble that I've never done before. And I'll just take a look at this stunning view over my shoulder. That's the Scramble Pass down there, and the route that I'm going on today is called Esgair Felen Direct. This is a grade 2+ route. It wasn't included in the early versions of the Scrambles in Snowdonia book by Steve Ashton, but it was included in the 2017 updated version, and I've been meaning to give this route a go for quite a while. Now, this is a rarely scrambled route on the UK climbing website. I think there's only about 40 or 45 ascents logged on there. Not a lot of information online about this route. Couldn't find many pictures, couldn't find any videos, and beyond just two fairly generic route descriptions, there just wasn't a lot of information online about this route. So it looked like the sort of scramble that I might enjoy. So this morning I got up nice and early. I've parked in one of the lay-bys on the Scramble Pass, and that is just down from Cromlech Boulders, and I followed the stream up to the right hand side of Clogwyn, which is a very popular climbing area, the very steep wall buttress on the left hand side. I've stepped over the stream on the right hand side, and literally within 10 minutes of walking up from my car, I was onto the start of the scramble, which was a few little ribs which led up to the first of two interesting pinnacles that you can see here in the drone footage that I'm showing you. Now, this first pinnacle, I skirted around to the left and I made my way up a zigzag, mossy, grassy path to gain the ridge. I made my way along the ridge to the front of the second pinnacle. Again, you can see that here in the drone footage. And I took this one to the left. There was a little box, or a bay, if you will, on the left-hand side there. It was incredibly greasy today, as in I went in there and I thought, I don't feel comfortable with this. I nearly bailed out. I thought I'll give it one more go. I'll try going a little bit flat-footed in there. It was horribly greasy in there. I just about managed to pull myself up the rear wall of that box, and that pulled me out and behind that second pinnacle. I've got to say, that was pretty horrible in there. I wasn't really enjoying that, and I was thinking at that moment, this is probably a route that would be best done in the summer when it's had a chance to dry out. It was super slippery in that box, and I've got my La Sportiva TX4s on. They're a little bit worn out on the soles, and there isn't a lot of grip on there, and it was just basically just sliding on there. But I'd done it anyway, and on the other side of that box, as you can see from the footage here, there is this huge, impossible steep wall in front of me. That's far too steep for me to climb. There's a waterfall of sorts on the left-hand side with water cascading over there. That is well outside of my skill set, climbing that. So I took a right and went down into the gully on the right hand side. There's a bit of a scree bed that goes down there, and I climbed up just to the right of the quartz rock on the other side of this gully, and I made my way up and behind that impossible wall. So I didn't actually climb up that impossible wall. I went all the way over to the right and managed to climb up behind it, if you will. And where I exited behind that wall is pretty much where the stream cascades over that impossible wall. So I literally went behind it rather than climbing up it. Now, I've got to be honest with you here, I did enjoy that first pinnacle, climbing up onto that. However, didn't really enjoy that second pinnacle going around it, and once I climbed up over those quartz lines, I've got to say, this is one of the scrappiest itty-bitty scrambles that I've ever done. It was horrendously loose rocks absolutely everywhere, greasy rocks everywhere, lots of grass, lots of heather, really thrutchy, horrible little route, to be honest. I really wasn't enjoying it. I kept thinking, well, when is this route going to get going? So I'm now on the middle section of the route, and as you can see from this footage, it's basically just grass on a hillside, and I'm making my way up without straying too far away from the stream. And all I need to do is follow that stream roughly up to this huge buttress that you can see up ahead of me further up on the hillside. And I'm really hoping that the scrambling is going to pick up and get a little bit better on that buttress at the top, because so far it's been one of the scrappiest scrambles that I've ever done. Probably would be a little bit better in the summer when it was drier, but so far I've got to say, I'm not loving it. So I'm going to make my way up this grassy hillside, and I will see you up at that interesting looking buttress further up, and that is the third and final section. And from what I've read online, I need to follow that buttress up with, apparently there's some good scrambling, and that will lead me up to the Great Tower, which is right at the top of the route. And if you've ever done Bryant's Gully, you'll know Great Tower, because that is pretty much where Bryant's Gully finishes, in that sort of area right up the top. So I'll see you in a little bit.
After completing the scrambling up that buttress, I made my way up to the Great Tower, which was up there near the horizon, and I skirted around to the right hand side of the Great Tower and found a scree-filled gully that took me from right to left, slanting right to left upwards, and that exited just a short distance away from the summit of Esgair, Felen, and that completed the scrambling for today.
Now, how long has that taken me today? But that's been about 4 hours, 45 minutes today, but quite a lot of that was actually filming and talking into the camera and putting the drone up and so forth. So that's definitely a route that can be done a lot quicker than that, especially on a dry day. So, what do I think of this route overall? I've got to be honest, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze on this one. Yes, I've had a great day. It's nice to be out on the rock, but that was a very itty bitty route, a little bit slimy to start off with around that pinnacle, just after the second pinnacle in that bay, the box bay. And then on the middle section was mostly just grass. And the final section, I had about 5 minutes of really nice scrambling, but only about 5 minutes. And then the rest of the route was very itty bitty up to this tower that I've just come up on this gully with, a few moments of scrambling in there. So it was very sparse scrambling across mixed terrain, very wet, very loose, lots of heather, lots of grass. So yeah, not the best route, but I'm glad I've done it. Now it pales in comparison to Bryant's Gully next door, which is a much better route, but I'm still glad that I came up today. As for me, where I'm going to go now, I'm going to make my way up to Completists, which is just under 2 kilometers away. I'm going to make my way down that knee cracker of a scree slope, and I'm going to show you some footage of that here. I am then going to make my way around the little tarn there, and I will go down to Gwesternant, the little village on the Completists Pass, and then it's only a 10-minute walk back to my car. And it's a really nice route going down into that village. I've been down there a couple of times. There's a stream on the right hand side, a couple of bridges going over that stream. It's a very picturesque descent route off of this side of the Glitterai. Right, so that's it. That was Esgair Felen direct. That's a grade 2+ route. I probably wouldn't be in a hurry to do that one again, but if I did do it again, I would certainly go on a drier day in the summer. Now, I know that this has been quite a long route here, and you may not have known all the little landmarks that I've pointed out, so I'm going to do a write-up on my website website as usual. I'm going to put some screenshots in there. I'll put some maps on there, some what 3-word locations on there, you know, the starting point, where that bay was that was really greasy, for example, so you can pull that up on a map and see exactly where I was in the video if you're thinking about coming up on this route and you just want a little more information about it. So on that note, thanks for watching. Do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hopefully I will see you on the next video.